Hello everyone, my name is Kitetsu and welcome back to my channel. So recently I took a gamble and I decided to make an Age of Sigmar lore video, and I literally had no idea if you guys would like it or not. I'd never done anything like it at all, so I didn't know if I'd do a good job of it or if I'd do the storyline justice, and I just didn't know how you guys would respond to it, to be honest. But fortunately, the reception I got from that video absolutely blew me away. You know, you guys totally killed it. I think about 1,000 people have watched it, and so many of you guys liked it and encouraged me to make a follow-up in the comments, and you know, I really appreciate the support I got. It's one of the first videos I've ever had to get over 100 likes, which is incredible, so thank you so much. I'm learning so much as I go along and do the research for these videos, but you do have to be a little bit patient with them as they take hours and hours to research and write. You know, the information is all over the place when it comes to the lore of Age of Sigmar, so I basically have to spend hours trawling through books, reading, cross-referencing the different facts and all of that. So there's also bits of the lore that Games Workshop have kept quite ambiguous, and some of those things can take quite a bit of time to piece together, especially, you know, when it comes to like the timing of when certain events are occurring. Just if you're interested, you know, in finding out more about the lore yourself, all of the information from this video is taken from either the battle tomes or, more importantly, there's a series of Citadel Realmgate war books, which are amazing. They're quite pricey, but I would thoroughly recommend them if you're really into the lore, because they are gorgeous books and they contain so much detail, far more than I go into in these videos, and you know, they've got all this unbelievable art in them, so they are truly the best guides to Age of Sigmar at the moment. But right, anyway, last video we basically left off at the very start of the Age of Sigmar with the Stormcast Eternals being unleashed for the first time to battle the forces of Chaos. But I'm actually going to back up a little bit here, because there are a lot of events that got us to that point, and I skimmed over a lot of stuff in the first part which they're far more significant and detailed than I went into. You know, we're talking about the whole Age of Myth, the Age of Chaos, Sigmar's alliance, and everything that led him to retreat back into Azir. So, without much further ado, let us continue our journey through the Age of Sigmar. The story of the Age of Sigmar is ultimately the story of two sides of the same coin. On one side, Sigmar, god of order, protector of those who are good, and on the other, Archaon, demigod and manifested will of the Chaos gods. As Sigmar was fated to take on the mantle of God King, Archaon was fated to head the greatest invasion that the mortal realms had ever seen, a warlord so terrible that his presence instills fear in even the mightiest of Chaos champions, mortal or otherwise. As Sigmar clung to malice, hurtling through the voids of space for eons, darker pages of history were being turned. Tales of these bleak millennia are rarely told, for few live to tell them, but their legacy lives on. Out of the darkness of the realm of chaos, Archaon, the three-eyed king, ever-chosen and grand marshal of the apocalypse, arose. They say that the stars in the realm of chaos still echo with the screams of his birth planet, destroyed and burnt to ashes in his rage. The ever-chosen alone knows the truth of his origins, but there are those who remain in the realm of chaos under the watchful eyes of the ruinous gods, who remember what happened for near countless years after his rage manifested. Archaon tore his way across the realm of chaos at the front of countless legions of demons and corrupted mortals. He massacred, destroyed, and ripped the hearts out of all in his path, tearing down worlds and ending entire bloodlines. And nothing could stop him atop his demonic steed, Dorgar, who consumed the souls of those Archaon defeated in battle. These souls became a part of Dorgar, trapped deep within him, not quite alive, nor quite dead, confined in horror for all eternity to be tormented by the Ever-Chosen. None could stand before Archaon's sinister, twisted corruption. Royals and demons alike were slaughtered as Archaon waded through the lakes of blood of his own creation. Civilizations that had existed for millennia were lost overnight, their lives snuffed out, like candles in a gale. But Archaon never submitted his will to one god of chaos alone. No, the Ever-Chosen was smarter than that, and he had his sights set on a prize higher than immortality. He reached for goals far beyond the promises of demonhood and eternal servitude. For Archaon's wish was to stand among the gods of ruin themselves, not as servant, but as equal. He wanted his own realm of chaos, and nothing would stand in his way. He had foreseen his destiny in visions and knew that he would become the greatest champion of chaos to have ever existed. He allied himself with the dark gods Nurgle, Khorne, Slaanesh, and Tzeentch in turn, taking the strengths of each god and bending them to his will. He slaughtered in the name of the blood god, who relished in the spilled blood that flowed from Archaon's warpath. He spread the contagions of Nurgle, unleashing a blight so powerful on the immortal Shantorians that even they, fabled for their immunity to disease, burst from within, pus oozing from their corpulent forms. His alliance with Tzeentch allowed him to learn of his masterfully deceptive and manipulative ways, which in turn he used to destroy rival powers. Even the mightiest of immortal demons, so powerful that mortal weapons couldn't scratch them, fell before Archaon, who fed their own arrogance as he watched them destroy themselves. As the endless eons overlapped with the Age of Myth, even the Chaos Gods, who all favoured Archaon, began to doubt his incredible growth of power. For what if he should choose to follow but one of them in secret? The Chaos Gods continually expend most of their efforts trying to supersede and conquer one another. A tool as powerful as Archaon was too dangerous to let live, for he could bring about their own ruin if he turned his calculated malice towards them, aided by a rival god. And so each of them sought to bring Archaon under their thumb, but none of them was successful. Archaon was immune to their bribes and temptations, seeking nothing they had to offer. At his continued rejections, in their rage, the Chaos Gods Nurgle, Khorne and Tzeentch sent their mightiest champions to end Archaon. But such power could not so easily be overturned. Archaon met each challenge, rising to them as he always had any obstacle that fell before him, and he emerged triumphant. Watching Archaon tear apart each of their champions without remorse, the Chaos Gods decided that they would finally place their trust in Archaon to follow the interests of each of them, for he would never follow any one of them alone. Having defeated these mightiest of dark champions, Archaon's steed Dorgar drank the souls from their foul corpses and began to mutate. A head for each of the three consumed greater demons erupting from his form. Dorgar and Archaon were now more powerful than ever. The gods made Archaon into a demigod and bestowed upon him great gifts. Atop his head they placed the crown of domination, a fear-inducing icon of his favour by the gods. They clad him with the armour of Morkar and armed him with a mighty sword containing the enraged soul of a legendary demon. They also gave him the eye of Shirian, allowing him to glimpse the future. As for the fourth god Slaanesh, he had gorged himself to excess on the near-endless souls of the dead that were released from the destruction of the old world. So heavy was his gluttony that Slaanesh was left weakened, forced to hide, but the ever-present Tzeentch betrayed his location to the gods Malerion and Tyrion, who were allied with Sigmar. In the Age of Myth, they let that alliance crumble as they selfishly captured Slaanesh whilst desperately seeking out their own kind. Nevertheless, the mark of Slaanesh is adorned on Archaon's shield and Dorgar's chestplate, recognition of the Ever-Chosen's allegiance to the Dark Prince. The great horned rat of the Skaven took Slaanesh's place on the Chaos Pantheon, but Archaon refuses to see him as worthy. That doesn't stop him using the Skaven as his tools, however, for the Skaven's realm tunneling abilities can breach even the mightiest of defences. Such techniques would become instrumental to Archaon's success in the Age of Chaos. The unnerving exploits of Archaon in a dimension beyond the mortal realms were hidden from Sigmar, who was busy creating alliances between the gods of the mortal realms during the Age of Myth. But as this great age drew to a close, even he was aware that something was amiss by the arrival of terrible omens. In the great city of Azerheim, the statues started to weep blood from their eye sockets, and the searing marks of the Everchosen began to appear throughout the realms. The most horrifying precursor of what was to come occurred in the city of 12 Spires. The fated city was attacked overnight, its inhabitants were brutally massacred, and those responsible gone, without trace long before the realms even knew of their incursion. It is said that the only remains of those who once called the 12 Spires home was an enormous banner made of their flesh and etched with the burnt mark of the Everchosen. As whispers of Archaon's arrival started to spread eerily across the stars, Sigmar mustered his forces in Azerheim, not moments too soon before rifts were torn in the sky that shook the realms as Archaon tore through the very fabric of reality that separated the 8 realms from the 9th. So began the Age of Chaos, with a series of battles unlike any that had ever been known, and culminating with the fated battle of the Burning Skies. To be continued. Wow. Okay, so the storyline basically just keeps getting more and more intense in this series, and we haven't even properly reached the actual Age of Sigmar yet. I'm not quite sure how the writers actually managed to create such an immense wealth of background story to this series as it launched, but to be honest, I'm so glad they put the effort into doing this properly. Now, I'm going to follow this part with a more in-depth look at the Age of Myth and Sigmar's alliance. It may end up containing a bit of the Age of Chaos too, but there's quite a lot of story to be told there, so we shall see. It gets into some of the background that I particularly love about the Realm of Death and the defeat of Nagash, so stay tuned for that. I'm really getting into the Death Allegiance at the moment, so I'm sure I'll have to start collecting them in the near future. But anyway, I really do hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. I apologise if these videos do seem a little bit short, but I promise you they actually reflect hours worth of work. Hours that I greatly enjoy spending nonetheless, but very, very, very long time to write this stuff. But let me know if you guys are still enjoying the series down below. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you are new, please do subscribe. Also, an unbelievable thanks to all of you. As always, I've now hit my 500 subscribers, and I can't believe that. I'm going to be doing another giveaway on Saturday, which I'm super excited for. But yep, that's it for me from now, so I will see you guys soon. Stay awesome.